I'm going to talk to you about the classroom library. You should have your notes page that looks like this and something to write with. If you don't, pause the video now and go get it. When you get books from the classroom library, they're sorted in 3 different ways. Most of them are sorted by genre, so you will find them labeled fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, or on the bookshelf. When you do your independent reading, the goal is to find a book that is just right for you. Not too easy and not too hard. And that may not be the same for everybody, that's okay. The goal is to help you improve your reading and find things that you like to read. So first I want you to think about what might make a book too easy. Pause this video and write down 3 or 4 ideas. Okay, you may have said something like, the words are really easy, or there's not a whole lot on each page. You know everything, you can retell it word for word. You might have said something like the ratio of pictures to words. Now, it's not wrong to have pictures in a book, and sometimes you will read things with pictures, but if there's more picture than word, it's probably not the right ratio for you as a high school student. Next, I want you to think about books that are too hard. Take a moment, pause the video, and write down 3 or 4 things that might make a book too hard. You probably said things like, the words are really hard, it's boring, I don't know anything about the topic. And that's true. It's okay to challenge yourself sometimes, but if you start a book and you don't get it at all, it's not working for you, put it back, choose a new one. Now I want you to think about books that are just right. And that's just right for you, not for your best friend, not for someone else in class, for you. Pause this video and then write down 3 or 4 ideas that might make a book just right. You may have said something like, you understand the vocabulary. And you might have noticed we talked about vocabulary in all 3 categories. It can be too easy, the vocabulary can be too hard. We want to look for vocabulary that's just right. It's okay if there's a word or 2 that you don't know, but you want to be able to figure those out and understand what you're reading. And that takes us to the next important point, is that you should understand it. The whole goal of reading is comprehension, and if you don't know what you read when you finished it, you haven't really read it. Something else that might make a book just right for you is it's a topic you're interested in, or it's an author that you like. So when you find books in the classroom library for your independent reading, your goal is to find a book that is just right. Your books can come either from my classroom library, or they can come from the public library or home, another teacher. It doesn't matter where they came from as long as they're just right. If you start a book and you realize that you don't like it, it's okay to abandon a book. Again, our goal is to find books that you like that are just right for you. Don't waste your time reading something that you don't like. The last thing I'm going to talk to you in this portion of the video is about how you take care of the books. These are all books that were purchased with my own personal money, so you would have good things to read and not just the textbook. So I ask you to do a couple of things. First, when you have a book, use a bookmark. When you check out a book, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you'll find there's a container of bookmarks right next to it. Use a bookmark to mark your pages. Please do not dog-ear the page that you're on by folding it over. And please, 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 the worst thing you can do for a book is to lay it down like this. This part's the spine, and inside is the glue or the binding that holds it all together. When you put a book like this, it breaks the binding and the pages start falling out. And there's nothing worse than starting a book and finding that it's missing pages. Sometimes you'll find a book that has one of these paper covers on it. This is called the dust jacket, and it makes the book look maybe more interesting, but these rip really easily, and when you're reading, they kind of get in the way. So when you borrow books from my library, please take off the dust jacket, and in the corner where you turn the books in, there's a bin that says dust jackets. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to check out and return the book that you choose. Please watch that video now.